Welcome, history seekers. Today we witness the absolute destruction of an ancient empire. In 146 BC, the mighty city of Carthage burned for 17 agonizing days. Roman soldiers vanquished thousands and sowed the scorched earth with salt to prevent any future rebirth. Why did the Roman Republic demand such a merciless and permanent eradication? To understand this terrifying wrath, we must go back to when Rome trembled before one single man. Look at the burning walls of Carthage, once the crown jewel of the Mediterranean Sea. Temples crash down into blazing ruins as Roman legions march through the choking black smoke. Thousands of desperate citizens flee in sheer terror, only to be captured and heavily chained. The conquerors show no mercy, turning a once thriving metropolis into a graveyard of ashes. According to ancient historians, Rome desired more than just a simple military victory here. They wanted to erase Carthage from the face of the earth, leaving behind only salt and sorrow. White salt is scattered across the blackened soil, ensuring that no crops will ever grow again. It is a calculated curse, a brutal message sent to any nation daring to challenge Rome. The magnificent circular harbor of Carthage, once filled with warships, now boils with fiery debris. Women and children weep as they are dragged away into a lifetime of brutal Roman slavery. General Scipio watches the destruction with cold eyes, fulfilling the ultimate grim prophecy. Crimson stains flow freely down the marble steps of sacred shrines, mingling with the heavy, dark ash. The Roman war machine methodically dismantles every standing structure with absolute precision. No sanctuary is spared, as the ruthless legions carry out their apocalyptic final orders. But what deeply rooted trauma could drive the civilized republic to commit such a vast atrocity? How did a rivalry over trade routes escalate into a war of total, uncompromising annihilation? To find the truth, we must peel back the layers of time to a much brighter and glorious era. Decades earlier, Carthage was not a victim, but a titan dominating the ancient trade networks. Their merchant fleets controlled the wealthy seas, accumulating vast riches and unmatched power. And they possessed a military genius who would soon become Rome's most terrifying living nightmare. His name was Hannibal Barca, a Carthaginian general sworn by his father to hate Rome forever. In 218 BC, Hannibal launched a campaign so audacious it defied human imagination. He gathered a massive mercenary army and marched them towards the freezing, treacherous Alps. With him were enormous North African war elephants, living siege engines wrapped in thick armor. Blizzards howled and men froze to death, yet Hannibal's iron will pushed the grand army forward. Historians still marvel at this impossible crossing, an engineering and logistical miracle. Bursting from the snow, he descended into Italy, catching the Roman legions completely off guard. The war elephants charged violently, their massive tusks shattering Roman shields into tiny splinters. Fierce Celtic and Numidian mercenaries vanquished the panicked defenders in the crimson snow. At Lake Trasimene, Hannibal orchestrated a devastating ambush, wiping out an entire Roman army. But his crowning achievement came at Cannae, a battle that remains a masterpiece of tactics. He launched a flawless double envelopment, trapping 50,000 Romans in a fatal ring. It was a tragedy so deep that Rome lost a fifth of its adult male population in one day. Golden rings stripped from dead Roman nobles were poured onto the floor of the Carthaginian Senate. The Eternal City was gripped by blind panic, fearing Hannibal would march straight through their gates. Mothers wept in the streets, and the desperate Senate resorted to dark, ancient religious rituals. Hannibal roamed Italy freely for 15 years, a phantom general striking wherever he pleased. Yet despite brilliant victories, he lacked the equipment to take the heavily fortified Rome. Rome refused to surrender, displaying a terrifying resilience that would eventually change history. They raised new legions, refusing to negotiate, bleeding Carthage's resources through attrition. Finally, General Scipio Africanus took the fight to Africa, forcing Hannibal to return home. At the Battle of Zama, the Roman army adapted, neutralizing the fearsome elephant charges at last. Hannibal was defeated, and the Second Punic War ended with Carthage stripped of its vast empire. They were forced to pay a crippling indemnity, reduced to a minor state under Roman supervision. Peace was declared, but the psychological scars left on the Roman psyche were impossibly deep. If you were a Roman citizen who lost a father at Cannae, could you ever forgive the enemy? The fear of Hannibal became a generational trauma passed down from father to son in the Republic. Even as Carthage quietly rebuilt its economy, Roman spies watched their every move with paranoia. The wealth flowing back into Carthaginian markets only fueled Rome's deep-seated insecurity. Inside the marble halls of the Roman Senate, an elderly statesman named Cato fueled the growing fire. He famously ended every single speech with a chilling phrase, "Carthage must be destroyed." This relentless propaganda slowly convinced the Senate that coexistence was simply impossible. They needed a pretext, a slight excuse to unleash their massive legions across the sea once again. When Carthage fought a neighboring tribe, Rome quickly declared a major breach of the peace treaty. The Third Punic War was entirely manufactured, a conflict born not from defense, but from pure hate. In 149 BC, a massive Roman fleet arrived in Africa, demanding total submission. Carthage surrendered its weapons, hoping for mercy, but the Romans delivered an impossible demand. They ordered the citizens to abandon their coastal city and move deeply into the barren inland. For a maritime trading empire, this was a death sentence, prompting a desperate final rebellion. The people of Carthage locked their gates, forging new weapons from whatever metal they could find. Women bravely cut off their long hair to make twisted bowstrings for the outnumbered defenders. The mighty Roman army surrounded the city, building enormous walls to cut off all supply lines. Giant wooden siege towers, pushed by disciplined legionaries, relentlessly battered the stone defenses. Starving defenders hurled rocks and rusty spears from the crumbling parapets in a doomed effort. For 3 brutal years, the city held out, enduring famine, disease, and constant bombardment. But the Roman tortoise formations were unstoppable, slowly breaking down the ancient fortifications. Finally, in 146 BC, the mighty sea walls were breached, and the legions poured inside. This brings us back to the Apocalypse, the moment where our grim story originally began. House by house, street by street, the Roman soldiers fought a fierce and devastating urban battle. the citizens of Carthage fought fiercely on their rooftops, choosing death over absolute surrender. General Scipio ordered the city to be set ablaze, turning narrow streets into roaring furnaces. Flames leaped from temple to temple, consuming centuries of history, art, and vibrant culture. The air grew thick with choking smoke and the horrifying screams of those trapped in the inferno. Out of 500,000 original inhabitants, only 50,000 miserable souls survived the siege. They were paraded in chains, destined to spend the rest of their broken lives as Roman property. Ancient records claim Scipio wept as he watched the city burn, reciting lines from Homer's Iliad. He realized that one day his own glorious Rome might suffer the exact same tragic destiny. Yet his tears did not stop the systematic destruction, nor the pouring of salt on the dark earth. Carthage was effectively deleted from existence, leaving a massive power vacuum in the ancient world. Rome emerged as the undisputed hyperpower, controlling the entire Mediterranean without rival. The ghost of Hannibal Barca lingered in the ash, a brilliant tactician who failed to save his home. His legendary trek across the icy Alps remains a testament to human will and strategic genius. But in the end, his spectacular victories only accelerated the absolute ruin of his beloved city. The ruins of Carthage stood as a silent, chilling warning to anyone who dared to oppose the Senate. It was a brutal victory that redefined warfare, proving that total annihilation was now possible. The Roman eagle soared high above the blackened rubble, basking in the glow of a crimson sunset. The world had learned a terrifying lesson about the uncompromising, deadly nature of Roman vengeance. No empire lasts forever, but the haunting memory of this destruction echoes through eternity. The ashes of Carthage eventually settled, burying the secrets of a once vibrant and wealthy culture. Yet the tactical brilliance of Hannibal was not born in a vacuum. It had a deeper origin. His greatest inspiration came from a legendary Eastern king who lived hundreds of years before him. A man who conquered the world so rapidly, he wept because there was nothing left to fight. A visionary commander whose shadow cast a long, imposing presence over every subsequent empire. This mysterious conqueror laid the foundational tactics that both Hannibal and Rome eagerly adopted. Who was this unstoppable force of nature, and how did his brief life alter history forever? The entire Mediterranean Sea now belonged exclusively to the victorious Roman Republic. No other ancient civilization possessed the military strength to challenge their supreme authority. The tragic phantom of Hannibal Barca stood silently amidst the desolate, smoking ruins. He dedicated his entire existence to fighting Rome, but ultimately witnessed complete failure. His unparalleled tactical genius simply could not overcome the endless manpower of his enemy. The blinding white salt scattered across the soil represented a curse of eternal death. Triumphant Roman legions marched back to their capital city, carrying unimaginable wealth. General Scipio Aemilianus was celebrated as a living god among the cheering citizens. However, this absolute destruction established a terrifying precedent for future conquests. The Republic realized that total warfare and eradication were highly effective political tools. The imposing shadow of Alexander the Great loomed heavily over these monumental events. Hannibal studied his brilliant battles, while Roman commanders copied his infinite ambition. We must explore the dramatic life of this Macedonian king who conquered the known world. He rode a legendary black horse into battle and shattered the mighty Persian Empire forever. His extraordinary military legacy fundamentally shaped the entire foundation of the ancient world. Prepare yourselves for the breathtaking journey of a young man who became a living god. In our next episode, we will uncover the magnificent rise and tragic fall of Alexander. Rome destroyed Carthage to survive, but did they cross the line from justice to pure tyranny? Was this the cost of empire, or the ultimate historical war crime? Tell us below. If you love uncovering history's darkest secrets, hit that like button and subscribe today.